What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video here on Variety and Errors. In this video, let's talk about the $20 banknote. I think we're all familiar with these notes. The $20 note includes an embedded security thread. Hold the note to light to see an embedded thread running vertically to the left of the portrait. The thread is imprinted with the text USA 20 and a small flag in an alternating pattern and is visible from both sides of the note. This thread will glow green when illuminated by ultraviolet light if this is a real 20. The watermark on these bills can be seen if you hold these banknotes to a light and look for a faint image of President Jackson in the blank space to the right of the portrait. The image is visible from both sides of the note as well, just like the security thread. Both of these features were added on in the early 2000s redesign of multiple Federal Reserve notes. There is also a color-shifting ink anti-counterfeiting measure on these notes in the form of the numeral 20 and a small silver eagle to the left of the bottom right serial number. If you tilt the note to see the numeral 20 in the lower right corner of the front of the note, it will shift from copper to green color. If we look at the back of a $20 note, we can see repetitious 20s on either side of the depiction of the White House. These are also anti-counterfeiting measures and have been around for some years. In the top right portion of the $20 bill, on the reverse side where the repetitious yellow 20s are, it actually forms a constellation of sorts called Orion, which is a formidable anti-counterfeiting measure against print reproduction of these notes. This has been on the $20 note since 2003. Other portions of the $20 note are the Federal Reserve System seal, which is a black seal to the left of the portrait, which represents the entire Federal Reserve System. A letter and a number beneath the left serial number identifies the distributing Federal Reserve Bank. Raised printing on the note is evident if you move your finger along the note's surface to feel the raised printing, which gives genuine Federal Reserve notes their distinctive texture. The color of the note includes background colors of green and peach, and the words 20 USA have been printed in blue in the background to the right of the portrait. There are also symbols of freedom on the note, like the large blue eagle in the background to the left of the president, which is a representation of those drawn and sculpted during his time period. The smaller metallic green eagle to the lower right of the portrait is a more contemporary engraving. There is also a treasury seal on these notes, which is a green seal to the right of the portrait that represents the U.S. Department of the Treasury. The series year is included on the design of these banknotes, and the design includes series years 2004 all the way to current. Microprinting is also on $20 Federal Reserve notes. The paper that these banknotes is printed on is 1/4 linen and 3/4 cotton and contains red and blue security fibers, which are noticeable to the naked eye. As mentioned before, the $20 note features a portrait of President Jackson on the front of the note and a vignette of the White House on the back of the note. To denote the denomination of this bill, there is a green 20 that is a large numeral in the lower right corner of the back of the note that helps those with visual impairments distinguish the denomination. This will be further expounded upon with the new release of a new $20 bill later in the 2020s. Serial numbers on these banknotes are a unique combination of 11 numbers and letters which appear twice on the front of the note. The serial number consists of the first letter of the serial number corresponding to the series year. For example, 1996 is represented by a series letter A. For the denominations 5, 10, 20, 50, and $100, the note has a letter and number designation that corresponds to one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks. The letter of each indicator matches the second letter of the serial number on the note. For example, an indicator of E5 would be from the Richmond, Virginia Bank. For denominations of $1 and $2, the note includes a seal that identifies one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks. On $20 notes, the note position letter and number indicates in which position on a plate a note was printed. It is a combination of one letter and one number and can be found on the front of the note. In 2014, the BEP began printing $1 notes on 50 subject sheets. For these larger sheets, the note position is identified by columns and rows rather than by quadrants. On a 50 subject sheet, it starts with A1 in the top left to J5 in the bottom right. The faceplate and backplate numbers identify the printing plates used to print each side of a note. The faceplate number is found on the face of the note, and the backplate number is found on the back. Federal Reserve notes printed at the Fort Worth, Texas facility of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing include a small FW in front of the faceplate number. A green seal to the right of the portrait represents the U.S. Department of the Treasury. This is the Treasury seal. The design of the seal was changed to incorporate an English inscription and appears on all Federal Reserve notes of the 1969 series year or later. The series year indicates the year in which a new design was approved by the Secretary of the Treasury, or the year in which the signature of a new Secretary or Treasurer was incorporated into the design. Capital letters following the series year appear when there is a significant change in the note's appearance. This concludes our video on the different features, both security features and physical features of U.S. banknotes. So let me know what you think about all the different features of the banknotes that we talked about in this video in the comments below, and also check out my video on the changes to U.S. banknotes that will happen throughout the next 10 years. I'll see you guys in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.